I've worked with Nicole Scherzinger a couple times, Brandy a couple times, Ciara, Todrick Hall. He just called us up one day randomly out of the blue. I was like on a run. He was like, I need something recorded in like an hour. Can you do it? And I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? When that dropped, I remember we were just sitting at the YouTube and it's just tick, tick, tick. It was like, I think he probably gained like 50 to 100,000 subscribers, and after that one video, it just went crazy. We've done some stuff with the NFL and then NHL too. The Los Angeles Kings played our song called King for their playoff run. I got to go to the game and they played it on the thing. It was great. Josh even performed at halftime. It was dope. Consistency is number one. Focus on one thing for a set period of time and go hard at that. Yeah. And you'll be surprised what happens. And I was definitely shocked at what happened. I actually got up to 10,000 monthly listeners, and that was my first initial goal. The guy's got a lot of good information about how to build on Spotify. I basically just listened. And one of the easiest things, and it's like, I don't know why I never thought of it.
This is They're Good at That Shit, where I talk to independent artists who are killing the game, talk to about the areas that they're good at. So, it's kind of like, just giving some knowledge to other artists out there who might, be struggling in certain things. So my guest today, a lot of Spotify streams, 7,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Also producer, engineer, work with a lot of big name artists. Kofi Agyei, appreciate you for joining me, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. First of all, talk about some of the big names that people would know that you've worked with.
So I've worked with, Nicole Scherzinger a couple times, Brandy a couple times, Todrick Hall. Trying to think of a few others. Ciara.
Dope. How did those things come about?
These specific artists was mainly through Todrick. We've been working with Todrick for over a decade now. I'd say most of his catalog is between me, another producer named Jeeb, and another producer, Carl. And we've been at it for a while. And Todrick knows a lot of these artists, and like they were willing and generous enough to give their time and help with some of our projects, and featured on a few of them. So it was really dope.
Yeah, that is dope. How did the relationship with Todrick start, or how did that come about?
So we actually, we met him through another artist named Vonzell Solomon.
Okay.
She was really big on the American Idol. She was one of the first few seasons. And we actually met her at church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Actually, a frat brother of ours introduced me to her. Vonzell, she's an incredible singer, still one of the best singers I've ever worked with.
Okay.
And one day we were just, I think we were working, we had a session with her, and then I just asked her if she had seen this flash mob, and it was Todrick's flash mob with him at Target, and she was like, have I seen it? I'm in it. And I was like, huh? And so I looked at the video closer, and she's literally right there, almost right beside him. I was like, damn, I don't know how I missed it. And so yeah, she told us yeah, I know him, that's my homie, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then not years later, but months later, I think he was in a pinch and he just needed to record something real quick. And I think he had heard her EP, so he heard the songs that we did, and he always asked her who did it and all that stuff. And he just called us up one day randomly out of the blue. I was on a run. He was like, I need something recorded in an hour. Can you do it? And I was like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was doing all these flash mobs all over the place. I went down the rabbit hole on his YouTube channel, and I was like, hey, he's pretty talented, ambitious guy. So, yeah, we did it basically. Long story short, and the video was up literally 30 minutes after he finished recording. It was crazy. I had never seen anybody work that fast. Wow. So apparently he had recorded it, didn't like it, and wanted to re-record it. Just came, re-recorded it in 15 minutes and bounced. And then that kind of started, that got the ball rolling.
That's crazy. So he had it up 30 minutes later?
Yeah, it was right away. If you know, anybody knows Todrick, it's everything is right away. And I think it's actually, since this is a good segue for the podcast.
Yeah.
as a great tactic when it's time to get people to do stuff. Like the sense of urgency, I'm not saying to like trick people, but I'm just saying like if you really want to get stuff done, a lot of times give yourself a really small window to get it done, and you'll be surprised what happens. Like you'll be surprised that you can actually get it done, and you'll be surprised how many people are willing to help you get it done. Like it's really, I've definitely taken that from if it works.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you've done a ton of projects with him. Like you said, you've been working together for 10 years. Talk about like just how it's been like working with him all these past 10 years. Some of the stuff y'all have worked on.
So many projects. One thing that it's unique to him that I don't do really anywhere else is the musical theater aspect of it. There's he's a really big musical theater head, and they've introduced me to all kinds of shows. I don't know anything about Broadway, or not a lot. And he's done a few musicals himself. Like he's written a bunch.
Oh, wow.
And we helped develop some of them. Some of them have come out in the past couple of years, but other ones are just like mix between radio songs and musical theater, which is like Straight Out of Oz Project or Forbidden. If you watch any of those two, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Like it's telling a story. It's a long form story, almost like a movie, but told in music form. So like, and they were really, really done well. Like, and a lot of those people would be surprised how fast they returned around. Like, the people would be shocked, especially like, I think Straight Out of Oz. That was literally like, I want to say 2.5 weeks. Wow. And if you look at it, it's like 10 videos, highly produced, edited. It's crazy. Like,
so yeah, Todrick doesn't fuck around. It's the
basically
moral of the story.
Like, you want something, get it done, and get it done quick before you lose interest or before the momentum goes away. You gotta, when you're riding on a really high wave or frequency, like stay on it. Don't let that momentum fall, because that energy is kind of like, it goes into the project, and you can tell, like, you can't tell it did, like, you could tell that everybody was on the same vibe when creating it, because that's the only way stuff like that gets done well.
Yeah, I've definitely been on that recently, kind of myself. I mean, kind of in general, I tend to be like, if I get something done like now, before, because what happens is a lot of times we like marinate on things and then we talk ourselves out of good ideas, or we talk ourselves out of doing stuff, or we talk to a friend, and then they're like, I don't know. And then you're like, and then we're like, yeah, maybe it's not that great. Maybe I shouldn't do it, blah, blah. So I tend to just do it. Like with this podcast, before I even like told anybody, I'd already shot like a bunch of episodes, before I told like friends, whatever. I'm just like
3 days ago, right?
Yeah.
2 days ago. So we're here. Boom.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just like, boom, boom, let's get it done. Yeah, that's how I tend to roll. So yeah, I definitely relate to that. And for those who don't know, Todrick Hall is like huge, like has like millions of YouTube subscribers, like it's a big deal. So that's what's up. Props to you for working with him, and like, and I mean, Lester there is just like, sometimes just like things just happen. You got to be available, and and you never know what can pop off. All right, let's go to Spotify, because I know you have at least, like, at the moment, 7,000 monthly subscribers. When I looked earlier today, that's what it was. So talk about, like, how did you, because that's a lot for independent artists, like 7,000 monthly subscribers. Like, how did you, and I know, like, because we've had conversations about this, like, I know you've done a lot of studying, and a lot went into that. It wasn't, like, just an accident. So, like talk about that.
I honestly, I feel like I could have so much more. Like, I was actually telling Josh this earlier today, or a couple of days ago. But
talking about Josh Moreland, who actually just got signed a pub deal to with Rock Nation. Yeah, so you're working with him a lot. We can talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, go ahead and
But basically, consistency is number one. You know what I mean? And I haven't been very consistent now. I actually got up to 10,000 monthly listeners, and that was my first initial goal. I think you should set goals for yourself too. You know what I mean? Like, measurable goals that, like, you can achieve, and you could see that, oh, it's actually working. For me, I wish I could take full credit for all the ideas, but the CEO of Hypeddit, he makes a lot of YouTube videos, and that's Hypeddit. It's Hypeddit kind of. It's like I think it's Hypeddit. But anyway, that website, the guy's got a lot of good information about how to build on Spotify, and so I was like, I basically just listened and followed it, and then I can see what he was saying made a lot of sense too. So the thing is, you don't want to just. I've been on playlists where you get like a big spike, you get a whole bunch of plays, and then as soon as you're off the playlist, boom, you down to zero, nothing. You know, and it's like you get tired of doing that over and over again. So I was trying to do it a little bit differently, and what he recommended was one of the easiest things, and it's like I don't know why I never thought of it, but just build your own playlist, right? And try to market the playlist, a playlist of only your songs. For me, since I'm a producer, engineer, songwriter, whatever, I just put a playlist of a bunch of songs I've worked on and then a few of my releases because I didn't have that many at the time. And so basically the idea behind it is you run Facebook ads on the playlist. And so the playlist, basically you're trying to promote the playlist. And Facebook is really good at targeting people who you want to be your target audience or who is your target audience. So what you do is you put different reference artists and you say, hey, Facebook, I'm trying to think of an artist that I use that people would know. Honestly, the smaller the artist, or the more niche the artist, the better.
Okay.
Because Facebook really knows that artist's following really well. But let's say like I use WizKid on almost all mine. So I'll be like, Facebook, follow, find me, go through WizKid's followers, because they know somehow, I don't know. But, and then optimize the people you show my ad to. So you create a small little ad, the Hypeddit dude tells you how to do it, like it goes through the whole thing. And then basically you just run ads, Facebook ads 24/7. But the difference is you're finding targeted clients, or listeners instead of just regular listeners.
Just random people. Yeah.
Exactly. And so those targeted listeners, if they like your stuff, because they already like your type of music, if they like you, after your song is finished playing, then your next song is going to play. And then the next song is going to play. Rather than you just getting one stream, you're getting like 5 or 6 streams and a new follower. Once you listen to somebody's 3 or 4 songs and you like them, you're a fan. You're going to stick around. You're going to follow them. You're going to do everything. You're going to wait for their next release, all of that. I know I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? And so like, if you have a higher budget, you can throw more money on it. But the thing is, he recommends that you only throw like a little bit because it takes time for the Hypeddit machine as well as Facebook to optimize your listener. So optimize who your audience is. So they go through a bunch of trials. It starts off real slow, and then one day it just gets it. And then your cost per conversion goes down and everything. So like it's been working for me. I've only done it on like 6 or 7 songs. And if I would have done it on twice as many, I probably would have twice as many monthly listeners, So
like when you talk about the ads, like are you making like a video, or what's the ad kind of looking like?
So he talks about that too. You could do a video, but he recommends you just do the album art because the objective is to grow Spotify. So if you show a video, people don't want to see a video. They'll be like, where's the rest of this video? So they want to, that would be a YouTube link. And I think he does have like options for that as well on the website.
Okay.
But if you're trying to grow your Spotify base, and he's like, focus is key. Like, just focus on one thing. It's too hard to try to grow Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, Instagram, all at the same time. It's like, just focus on one thing for a set period of time and go hard at that.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised what happens. And I was definitely shocked at what happens. So it worked out for me, pretty much. And I just need to honestly just get back on the train.
Yeah. So when you talk about your album art, like, are you putting is like the caption you're putting with it important, or like how are you if you're not showing any video, how are you hooking people? I guess is my question.
There's some small effects that go on the album art too that help it pop a little bit, but the caption is also it sets the mood. I remember one of them was sunset, Afrobeat, romantic vibes. Click listen now to listen on Spotify or something like that. And there's some Spotify link in the in the Spotify artwork logo in the corner or something like that, so they know it's a Spotify link. And like, it's really not that complicated, and you're just supposed to pick the best part of the song. We don't know what the best part of the song is all the time, so they usually run 3. So he'll pick 3 sections, 3 15-second things. So usually I'll do like the first chorus, and then maybe if it's a feature, I'll put the feature on one of them, and then both of us on the other one or whatever, something like that. It'll run the different artists on each 15-second album art or whatever, and then it'll just test them, and you'll be able to see which one's performing the best, and you just put your money on the one that performs the best.
Yeah, now that's something else I was going to talk about is like, because you said sometimes it can be slow, but it's also to like test like which one, like what's doing the best, so that then you can like put all your,
And it takes a while for it to optimize, and then the more songs you do, the more it knows your audience too. So like, I think his recommendation was don't touch any ad for 4 weeks. Don't even touch it. Wow. Just let it run at the minimal amount for 4 weeks. And then after that, look at the results and then put more money onto, or more attention on the highest performing ad. So,
do you do it typically just like one song at a time, or are you running like multiple songs sometimes?
Sometimes I'm running multiple songs, but usually I'll like run a playlist one. I just keep that one rolling forever. Right. And then when the song comes out, I'll start a new one with that song and put money on that.
Okay. So are you like building on that one playlist? Like, do you sometimes do like, okay, so let's say you put out a song a month ago, and then now you're about to put out another song. So do you just add that song, the new song, to the top of that same playlist, and then like just kind of keep running it that way? Or?
Basically, yeah. Yeah. And for me, like I produce and do an engineer, so anything that the people I worked with, if it comes out before my song, I'll put their song on the top. And that honestly is the best way to build community and stuff as well. Like you share my song, I share your song, and that's the way it's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah. So have you like kind of collaborated with the other artists to like run these things, or is it mainly just like you running it, and then like do they like share some stuff like too, or
everybody does their own thing?
Yeah,
so like it's kind of hard, but I am gonna start, I feel like, doing more stuff for other people as well, but I had to be the guinea pig first, because I don't want to like be like, oh, I can help you do X, Y, and Z, and I've never done it myself.
Sure. I mean, yeah. Now, because now you kind of have. Now that you have kind of the framework, yeah, you can definitely like be like, hey, I can help you do this, and
to some degree. Folks. I mean, I'm still learning for sure, like every day. I don't have it all figured out, but I found something I feel like works for me, and I'm gonna probably stick with it, for a while. So, and I think that's the key. It's like find something that kind of that works. And people want instant success. People want big leaps in this, and it's like. When it comes to building an audience, I don't think there's any shortcuts.
Yeah.
There's boosts. Like you'll go viral and get a big boost, like 10,000 followers in a day or 100,000 or whatever it is, because you did something cool. But then sustaining it is like a whole other ballgame. And growing it again is a whole other ballgame. So it's like, it's going to be a slow process or a slow growth no matter what. Like the days of, I just got a Kanye feature, now I'm the biggest rapper alive, they don't exist anymore. I don't feel like it's not sustainable anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to keep that momentum going. I've had some spikes on things, and I've had like TikTok video do really well, but then like after that it's like, okay,
it's gone.
It's like this is here today, gone tomorrow, you know what I mean? And so like
that video will teach you something though,
100%.
Yeah, and then you can build off of it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's giving me some motivation to try to, like keep grinding at it. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
Keep like working to like figure out what exactly is going on, and how can I potentially replicate that, or like my thing is now I'm like, okay, how can I consistently get, like, I'm not going to get 1 million views every time like that video did, but like, how can I consistently get 50,000? You know what I mean? Like, if I can figure that out, then, I feel like that's a good look. But,
Absolutely.
It's just like you said, there's no silver bullets, just like 100 golden BBs. Like I heard somebody say.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like even like going back to the Todrick situation, we were around when he had like maybe, I don't know, 75,000 subscribers, maybe, or maybe 100. And then we saw days like when they dropped I don't know if people remember, but Virgin Airlines did this whole campaign with them, and it was their new safety video. And when that dropped, I remember we were just sitting at the YouTube, and it's just tick, tick, tick. It was like, I think he probably gained like 50 to 100,000 subscribers, and after that one video, it just went crazy. And then like it happened again with Nails, Hair, Hips, Heels. It happened again with other things, but like in between, you have to keep churning out videos, keep churning out videos, keep churning out videos, and it's like, and I mean, if you're a true fan, you really know there's only like 5 or 6 types of videos we were doing. You know what I mean? It's like it's just doing it over and over and over and over again with different ideas. You know what I mean? And that's social media.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I mean, I guess it goes to show, like, if you find something that works,
yeah, do it.
Yeah,
until nobody want to see it again.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, I didn't realize like you were working with him since he had 75,000. That's crazy because now he's in the millions.
It's 3-point-something million now on YouTube. It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow. That is wild. Another thing you were talking about earlier that was interesting to me that I've also been hearing a lot is that you don't know what part of the song is gonna catch, because I hear that a lot. Like I've been watching a lot of, videos, like podcasts and things of like people, talking about like people who have had songs like pop on TikTok, for example, and they'll be like, yeah, I thought it was gonna be this section, but then this random section of the song over here like popped off. We just threw that video out too. And it just took off or whatever on this random section. It wasn't the hook like we thought it was gonna be.
Yep.
I've seen like so many videos like that. So I mean, I guess it's just like sometimes just throw multiple things out there. Like even like the things that you don't think might be the thing, like throw it out there.
Yeah, I think it just goes back to what we said earlier. It's like just try, like just do it. You know what I mean? Just get it done. You have an idea. Usually when you have an idea, you feel like a certain way. You're like, oh, this is it. You know what I mean? Execute it, and execute it as well and as fast as possible, because you want that energy to stay high. It's almost like working out. Like if you're trying to burn maximum calories, you want your heart rate to stay up. You know what I mean? When it goes too low and you got to start all over again, you might not want to finish the workout. So that's just how it goes. Yeah. Or the quality goes down. For me, I try to give myself 3 days from most songs. Like if I'm inspired and I start writing or I start composing like a track or whatever, I try to give myself 3 days to be done with the creative part.
Okay.
Now, the engineering part and all that and making it sound great, that's different. But recording, writing, and making the track to like at least 80, 90% of the track, then I'm cool. Yeah. Then I could take a break or whatever and come back to it. But 3 days, I don't like to go more than 3 days, because then you've heard it too many times. You start questioning everything. Like you said, it's like...
Yeah.
And I don't listen to it. I listen to it to bounce one time, and that's it. Maybe 2 times, and I'm not listening to it anymore until I'm time to work on it. Because I know the more times I listen to it, the more you get used to it, or the more you hate something that's probably not that bad, and it's just like, you can't trust yourself.
Yeah.
I do a lot of that with mixing, by the way. People are like, with the mixing stuff, I'm like, take a lot of breaks. Ain't nothing like fresh ears. Like, and so I try not to work more than 20, 30 minutes at a time without stopping. Because when I do that, I always just end up doing too much. And then come back and like, this doesn't even sound that great, you know? But when I take a lot of short breaks quickly, I'm getting fresh ears over and over and over and over again. And it's usually, I don't have to do too many edits. It's usually improving every time, you know?
All right. That's what's up.
There's a lot of mental games in this music, man.
100%. But I mean, I think it's like whatever, you have to find whatever works for you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like whatever you have to tell yourself to get it done, like that's, that's what you got to do, like, but the important thing is that you get it done. Cause like, I mean, I think there's a lot of like distractions. There's a lot of, negativity that creeps in, and then like other people, like say stuff, and like I said, it can zap your energy. So, but like whatever you got to do to like stay motivated is like Yeah.
Everybody thinks they can write better lyrics. It's like, it gets so annoying sometimes. It's just like, nobody judges lyrics this hard in the real world. You know what I mean? It's like, but if you play it for your friend or you play it for somebody close to you, like, I don't know about this line here, this line there. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You write a better one. You know what I mean? You can't do it.
Right. Yeah, I definitely, like, I almost like stop playing stuff for people.
Yeah.
Just because like I don't care, honestly.
You
like,
don't need it.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if like I'm excited about it,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Like, I really don't. I like at this point, like, I kind of know what I want, like, things to sound like. I don't necessarily, and it's not to say like there, like, you can. There's never a time for like constructive criticism and feedback and all of that, but. You know, like, usually, like, that comes, like, much later for me. Like, it's, like, when I'm, like, working on something and, like, I'm excited about it, I don't want to hear anybody's, like, anybody's, like, like, especially if I'm excited about it, then I'm gonna keep it close to the chest, like, until I drop it or until I'm, like, about to drop it. And then it's, like, at that point, it's, like, it's coming out. Like, it's too late to do anything about it.
Or, like you said, like, there's a time for constructive criticism too. So for me, in that 72-hour period, I don't need any constructive criticism. Yeah. None. Like, I haven't executed my vision yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then once the vision's out there, then I can show it to somebody and then be like, if they say something that already resonates, something that I'm like already questioned, sort of,
right?
Then I'll take a deeper look into it. You know what I mean? But if they say something totally random, and I'm like, I had no problem with that.
Yeah.
And it depends on who it's coming from.
That too.
I'm like, I can easily dismiss it. Like, like, it's not hard for me to dismiss it.
Yeah. Now that might be that is true. Like, sometimes if there's something that I'm questioning, then that's when, like, okay, I might be like, okay, what do you think of this?
What do you think of this?
Or I might show it to somebody and just to see what they say, and not even like say anything, like, oh, here's this, like, and just see. And then if they say something, like, especially if it's the thing that I was questioning,
exactly,
then, like, okay, then I'm like, all right, maybe I need to, like, revisit that, you know.
Absolutely.
And it's like that too with, like, you know, when you like submit Hub playlists or something like that, for example. You know, like, you get all these like that can be, like, very degrading for people because you get, like, you're getting rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection in a lot of cases. And like, some of the, like, stuff they say is like, what?
Totally,
like, what?
Yeah, makes zero sense.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like with stuff like that, you just gotta kind of, like, you know, brush it off. Now, there have been times where, like, I've seen or read, like, the same feedback from multiple people. Then I'm like, okay,
there might be something to
that. All right, so then now let me, like, address that on the next song or whatever, you know, and, like, and improve on that and get better at that. You know, if you're getting something, you know, over and over again. But, you know, other than that, you know, some of the random stuff people say, like, I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You have to.
Yeah. All right, so we were talking about Josh Moreland too. You know, who, like I said, just got a pub deal with Roc Nation. So how long you been working with him?
Almost as long as Todrick, probably just 2 or 3 years less. So I'd say a little over 10 years. I think. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we go pretty far back. Apparently I was one of the first people he worked with in LA.
Oh wow!
When he came from Florida. But yeah, we've built up a decent catalog right now. We're focused on he always describes himself as a pop rock artist, a pop rock soul artist. And we're focused on stadium music, like stuff to get your crowd pumping, or just big anthemic music, even if it's a ballad. Like, that's our bread and butter. It's been the thing that, because we tried a lot of different types of songs, but that's been the consistent one that's like, that just feels natural for us to make, and that people will respond to well. Yeah, he calls it battle cry music.
Yeah. I've seen him, you know, perform a few times and do his thing. So it's
crazy performer. Man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
he goes nuts.
Yeah, he goes in. But that's what's up, man. And y'all also working on some like sync type stuff as well.
Right now we're trying to get into the trailer market for films and TVs. We're doing some covers of some really classic songs, and we're battle crying them out. So we're making them more like our style, but singing songs that people they know and have heard.
He had some placements in some like big thing, like maybe I want to say, was it like some NBA commercials or something like that?
Yeah, we've done some stuff with the NFL.
Yeah.
And then NHL too.
NHL,
The Los Angeles Kings played our song called King for their playoff run.
Nice.
I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago. One of these years.
Yeah.
So like I got to go to the game and they played it on the thing. It was great. Josh even performed at halftime. It was dope. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that had to be a crazy experience, like a really fun.
That was my first hockey game too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That sport is hard.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, they're going a lot faster than I thought.
It's pretty wild. It's like all the fights and all that. Like, I haven't been in a while to a hockey game, but like they
it looks pretty exhausting.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, kudos to y'all, man.
No, that's what's up, man. That's really dope. That y'all got those like placements and y'all are working on more stuff like that as well, right?
Yeah. Shout out Offstream. They hooked that up. Offstream is a I don't know, how do you describe them? But anyway, it's a group, it's a family, I would say.
Okay.
We got producers, songwriters, engineers, artists, lots of artists, and then like they're really great at placing stuff in sports. Like that's their bread and butter.
Okay.
But I mean they play stuff everywhere. But
Offstream, is it like an agency or is it like a
I guess you could say a publishing house.
Publishing house.
Sort of, yeah, of sorts. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Any other like tips for like artists when it comes to Spotify, when it comes to, working with, big name people, anything, any other words of wisdom?
I don't know. I mean, there's a few, like I would say number one, just work on your craft like a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because every level you get to, there's another level. Like, you know what I mean? It's like never just rest on the laurels, and then also trust that the work you put in. That's another thing. I actually take that from sports. It's like you got to trust that when the moment's here, you got to just go. So like I said, when you get that inspiration, go. Don't question anything. Don't think it. But that's not the time to try out new plugins. It's not the time, like just go with what you know. You know what I mean? And get it done well. Use the plugins you know well. You know what I mean? And I've been using some of them for over a decade. You know what I mean? So those, I know what's going to sound like as soon as I put it on. I don't have to do a lot of A-Bing and testing. You know what I mean? Experiment. You should experiment, but do it at a different time. Not when you're like really high in the creativity space.
Yeah.
That, and then as far as promotion and stuff, the biggest thing I've learned and taken away is, I mean, I already knew about consistency. That's key, number one. But number two is envision the whole thing. So we us as creatives, we like to just focus on creating the music.
Yeah.
But while you're creating the music, don't let the like corporate get in the way of you making the music. But like envision the whole thing. How do I want to promote this? Maybe after you wrote the song, you look back and be like, oh, what's a way I can market this idea of the song? You know what I mean? I've seen guys, they say, I'll write a whole song, sit on it because I have no idea how to market it, and go to the next one. They're not going to release it until they realize how to market it. And I'm like, that's pretty deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would never do that. I would just release it and then maybe try to market it
kind of figure it out as you...
And you never really do.
Yeah. No, I think that's what we tend to do a lot of times. It's like, well... at least I know I've done this in the past where it's like, okay, we put it out and then, or we're like, okay, I'm going to release this. And you don't have like a real plan. Like you just kind of throw it out there and like, all right, I'm going to, and then, over time you learn certain things that you're going to do. And so you kind of do those, but like, and that's like your plan. But like, as far as like a full on like
have
marketing plan,
full executed plan, even like I want to focus on this line in particular, like you're saying, like I want to make my videos or my content based off of these 3 lines. The first content is going to look like this. Second piece of content is going to be that. Third's going to be that. and blah, blah, blah. Just know it all while you're doing it. And Todrick honestly used to do this too with the videos. He'll like write the song, and in his mind, he has what the video is going to look like. So that was back when like music videos were real popular. Now it's just mostly short form content. Right. So you do the same thing, same concept, but with short form content. And if you have multiple ideas, try them all. You know what I mean? And see which one sticks. Like, I've heard there's a lot of testing that goes in with the people who really blow up big. Like, they've done a lot of testing to know what works and what the audience likes and who the audience is. Yeah. So those are my, that's it. Like, yes, they call it music business for a reason. That business is 50%. Yeah. It might be more, honestly, because I know a lot of people with great music who, if it's not marketed well, if it's not pushed well, nobody ever hears it. I'm one of them. Yeah. So it's like we're all working together. We're all trying to figure it out. But the answers are there. It's just a lot of work. And a team helps too. Yeah. You can get a team together, people you trust, that'll help you go far.
All right, man. That's what's up. Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Anytime.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Broadway, the host. If you got something out of the episode, definitely go ahead and hit the like button. Also, subscribe and turn on the notifications so you can get notified whenever we drop new episodes. If there was something specific that you learned or found interesting, put that in the comments. Also, if there was something that you thought you were going to learn more about, wanted to hear more about, and you didn't, put that in the comments as well. We can use that to make these episodes better going forward. Thank you again for checking out They're Good at That Shit.